Hello everyone. Today we're diving into the detailed process of painting a 3D printed Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3, thanks to a fantastic model by Nom Nom Figures. Whether you're a seasoned painter or new to the craft, follow along as we transform a simple print into a masterpiece. First, let's go over the tools and materials you'll need. From Vallejo's liquid mask to our homemade airbrush thinner, each plays a crucial role in our painting journey. We start by masking off areas to remain unpainted before mixing our paint with homemade thinner for the perfect airbrush consistency. When applied, this liquid mask forms a protective barrier on the areas of the figure you don't want painted. It's particularly useful for maintaining the sharpness of Astarion's armor edges and keeping those tiny yet significant details free from overspray. This not only saves a considerable amount of time and corrections, but also elevates the quality of our work, ensuring that each detail is preserved and highlighted as intended. After applying Vallejo's liquid mask to protect the details, it was time to bring Asterion to life with some color. Using an airbrush, we applied the blue base colors, ensuring a smooth, even coat across all surfaces. Once the blues had dried, the moment of truth arrived. We carefully removed the liquid mask, revealing the crisp, clean lines and protected areas beneath. After our base layers are down and masked areas removed, we dive into detailing. From dark washes to bring out Astarion's intricate lines to dry brushing for light effects, every step adds depth and character. After the initial wash had dried, we moved on to enhance Astarion's attire with more nuanced shades. For his trousers, we opted for a lighter shade of blue than the base, applying a dry wash to bring out the light and give the fabric a more three-dimensional look. This technique helps to simulate natural lighting, adding depth where the light naturally hits the fabric. Next, we tackled his coat, starting with a rich base of red and purple tones mixed together. Using a brush, this undercoat was carefully applied, setting the stage for the detailed work to come. But the real magic happened when we mixed purple and black to create a darker shade for the coat's edge stitching. This not only defined the edges, but also added a subtle contrast that brings out the intricate details of his attire. Finally, to give Astarion's coat the texture it deserves, we used the same tone to add random lines and dots, mimicking the texture of fabric. This step is crucial for adding realism to the figure, making the coat look as though it's made from real, tangible material. With the foundational colors laid down and the textures finally applied, now it is time to turn our attention to the finer details that would bring Astarion's attire to a whole new level of elegance and complexity. First, we embarked on the task of adding golden accents to the coat and arms. The shoulder and the intricate patterns adorning the top of the coat meticulously painted with a vibrant gold color. This step required a steady hand and a fine brush, as the goal was to highlight these details without overwhelming the overall design. The golden accents not only add a touch of nobility to Astarion's character, but also draw the eye to the craftsmanship of his attire. Next, the inner garment was painted a deep, rich red. This color choice was deliberate, aiming to contrast beautifully with the darker tones of the coat and trousers, adding a layer of depth and warmth to the figure. Adding another layer of detail, an orange collar detail was introduced. This subtle addition serves to break up the monochrome and adds a new dimension to the palette, enhancing Astarion's regal bearing. Next, we turned our focus to the leather parts on the arms, selecting a darker shade to truly capture the rugged and rich texture of leather. Following the painting of the leather, we dedicated our efforts to the stitches. With precision and a very fine brush, each stitch was carefully painted to stand out. This meticulous task required a steady hand and patience. Having already brought Astarion's attire to life with rich colors and textures, we next focus on the trousers and the leather details, adding stitch details with carefully chosen colors to match. With the leather details on the arms finely painted and the stitch details meticulously added, we then move on to the very fine pinpoint silver details throughout the clothing. These highlights are essential in bringing a sense of depth and luxury to Astarion's attire, making the figure nearly complete in its assembly. It's these small touches that truly make the costume stand out, emphasizing the elegance and intricate design of Astarion's garb. Next, we bring attention to the belt details, revealing the texture and accents that define Astarion's silhouette. Following this, we proceed to paint the shoes, ensuring every aspect of his attire is given the attention it deserves. As we draw closer to completing our Astarion figure, the focus shifts towards bringing his character to life through his skin and facial features. Initially, we mask off the areas around the skin to ensure a clean and precise application of the flesh tones. With the use of an airbrush, we apply a base layer of skin color, achieving a smooth and even coverage that serves as the foundation for further detailing. Once the mask is removed, we correct any overspray and add shadows and highlights to bring his features to life. To add depth and realism to Astarion's face and hands, Vallejo flesh wash is applied. Casting subtle shadows that accentuate his features, giving his skin a more lifelike appearance. This step is crucial for capturing the essence of his character, highlighting the contours of his face and bringing a sense of depth to his expression. Moving on to his hair and eyebrows, we color them with careful attention to reflect his distinct style and personality. Finally, to bring out the texture and volume of his hair, a dry brush technique is employed to apply highlights, adding dimension and a natural flow to his locks. This not only enhances the realism of the figure, but also complements the detailed work done on the rest of the outfit. It's time to elevate Astarion's expression with the subtle interplay of light and shadow. To achieve this, we turn to Vallejo Glaze Medium, a crucial element in our painting arsenal. This medium allows us to thin down our paints without losing their intensity, enabling us to apply glazes that subtly tint the skin, enhancing its realism. This process involves layering thin, transparent coats of color over the skin, allowing us to build up depth and dimension gradually. With each layer, Astarion's facial features become more pronounced, from the gentle shadows beneath his cheekbones to the delicate highlights along his nose and forehead. This technique is especially effective for emphasizing the contours of the face and creating a more lifelike appearance. The glaze medium ensures that these adjustments are subtle, blending seamlessly with the underlying tones to produce a natural, skin-like texture. By carefully controlling the placement and intensity of these glazes, we bring a sense of vitality to Astarion's face. It's not just about adding color, but about crafting an expression that reflects his character's essence. The Vallejo Glaze medium is instrumental in this process, providing us with the ability to create nuances and subtleties that breathe life into our figure. Moving on to the lips, we approach them with the same level of detail and attention. The key here is subtlety. The lips are not just a splash of color, but a play of light and shadow that defines their shape and volume. With meticulous brushwork, we add depth and dimension to the lips, ensuring they are in perfect harmony with the rest of the facial features. This delicate task highlights the realism of Astarion's visage, making him not just a figure, but a story waiting to be told. I must apologize for not being able to include every step of the eye painting process in the video due to setup constraints. However, painting Astarion's eyes is a journey in itself. Starting with a bold red, we capture the vampiric essence that defines his character. The process involves layering shades of red and adding tiny reflections to give the eyes depth and life. The final touch, a pinpoint of white, brings a spark of vitality, transforming the figure from a simple model into a character with a soul. As we add the final touches to Astarion's hair, giving it texture and depth with just a few strokes, and fill his chalice with blood, our painting adventure comes to a close. This journey has been filled with meticulous detail, from the subtle shading of his skin to the vibrant life in his eyes, each step bringing us closer to capturing the essence of Astarion. But a masterpiece like this isn't created in isolation. A special thanks to Nom Nom Figures for designing such an incredible model that has allowed us to explore our creativity and bring this character to life. Their work has been the foundation of this project, and for that, we are immensely grateful. If you've enjoyed this journey into the heart of Baldur's Gate 3 through the art of figure painting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures. Until next time, keep painting and let your imagination bring your favorite characters to life.